by using movement, by stimulating the vestibular system, by using sound, music, specially filtered music, by stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system, we find that we can even better help these kids and these adults control themselves, which is really the goal of treatment.
My sister, who lives quite a distance from us, came in for a family party, and she's a speech pathologist and audiologist. And she said, "What are you doing with her? Her eye contact is unbelievable. She initiates conversation now. She comes up to a family member and says, 'Hi, Aunt Mimi, how are you?' And just carries on a conversation that she never did before. And then, like, even the sensory stuff, hugging people. My mother commented, like, 'Wow, she comes up to me now and hugs me.' And it shows the affection that she never did before. It was just amazing to hear that from our family members, because we just took it for granted, you know, because we're with her every day. It's amazing to see. She's going into 5th grade now, and her self-esteem, unbelievable. And the friends that she has now, because she was very much a loner too. Didn't have many friends. And the kids looked at her as being a little different too. Mm-hmm. And now it's amazing. Like, we don't even see her now. Yeah. She's up the hill with the girls up the hill. It's like, wow. And walking with them and initiating conversation. Things that she never did before.
She was struggling very badly in school. I mean, it's really heartbreaking for a parent to sit there and look at your child, and she looks at you and says, "I hate school. I don't want to go. Don't make me go. I don't want to go." And it's just, you know, it's not like they're being tortured here, but evidently in her mind, it was torture. It was she couldn't deal with the learning aspects, the social interaction. She couldn't handle all of this. It just, what Jill has accomplished and the rest of the team has accomplished here in bringing ILS in, I mean, it really turned her life around, and that's something for a small child. I mean,
we're grateful,
and not to mention for a parent.
Yeah.
You know, so.
We found that he struggled. He couldn't read, he couldn't follow and keep up with the math. And it turned into tears every night at bedtime. "Don't make me go to school. I can't do school. I don't understand." And the frustration level escalated to the point where he was so anxious at night. He was having night terrors. He was walking in his sleep. And he would break out in hives before going to school in the morning because he was so terrified to go to school, because he knew that he just wasn't where his peers were. Once we were able to get a plan into place and he started ILS later on, that anxiety level just plummeted, and he was sleeping through the night. And his migraines that he was on medication for, we didn't need that medication anymore. And we don't see the night terrors, and we don't see the sleepwalking, and we see a little guy who has the confidence to play with his peers on the playground, and to talk about all of the friends on the school bus, and to engage with all of the other kids, because he has that skill set now.
So by sending information repeatedly through the synapses, the brain actually grows new synapses in response to something called neuroplasticity. It's modified by experience. The more information goes through this pathway, the stronger it becomes. So we have more pathways, strengthening pathways by repeated stimulation. Then when you can apply multiple pathways simultaneously, you increase even further the brain's ability to multitask. So the ILS system is an auditory system. It's the only auditory system that combines listening and auditory stimulation with movement and visual activities. So you have an auditory system which improves auditory processing, so important for reading and speech and language. It talks to the visual system, also important for reading and orienting to sound. These talk to the vestibular system, an inner ear system that has to do with coordination, balance, muscle tone, and regulation of all of our movements and our position in space. So we have networks of systems going on simultaneously that are being stimulated at the same time. There's an adage that says that neurons networks that fire together, wire together. So by providing this simultaneous sensory input through multiple systems, you're improving brain function, interconnectivity, and strength.
The great need in treating ADHD these days is for a comprehensive program that gets at the target symptoms through as many venues as possible. The traditional treatment, which combines behavioral therapy with medication, is fine, but it's less than optimal. And by using iLs, we found new avenues to address the target symptoms of distractibility, impulsivity, and restlessness that make the treatment even better.
He walked in to my speech room and I went, oh boy, okay. And it was tough because he was so impulsive and he had sensory needs. You know, I said yesterday, as a therapist, there's so many times that we think, okay, if we just had another arm, or we just had one more way to turn, do one more thing to target different centers of the brain and turn them all on at the same time, or you see some of that anxiety and go, okay, if there was just something I could help them with that so they could access all those great skills that they do have. And then iLs came around and we thought, oh my goodness, this is what we've been looking for. This is our other arm. This is that magic tool in our kit that lets us turn on all those different centers of the brain at the same time. And it's so powerful for me because I get to help families like you, but we get to let the kids know how awesome they really are. Mm-hmm. You see what's in there. You see their potential. You see, like Ashley said, how great they are in isolation at certain things. And you're like, man, I just wish I could bring it together so that everybody else could see all the amazing things they're capable of. And this has allowed us to do that.